Welcome back. We are here for the Between Secrets in Lavender, episode 9. It has been a bit. We've had some delays, and unfortunately, Jai's player will not be able to join us again. But yeah, so hopefully everything's okay. And yeah, so just wanted to because I owe Ellie for that 6. No, you know what? No, everything's fine. Everything's fine. It's
Oh,
gonna
that's
get
so
better.
reassuring.
Yes, everything's fine. It'll just come back and bite you in the ass later. It'll be great. It's fine. Somebody owes somebody like a waistcoat and a shirt. Just so
Right.
you know. All
Yes.
right. Anyway,
Okay.
anywho, so we haven't done this, or I haven't done this in a while, but I don't know if anybody wants to like make a mention of something important or noticeable that happened to them the last time we played, since it has been a couple of weeks. If not, then we're just gonna just plow onward with the rest of day phase, and then go onward from there. But I mean, if you do want to mention something that you remember from last time, that's perfectly fine. Um, this is your
I
opportunity to do so.
I have something that I don't quite remember, but I think I do. I have written in my notes as look for Dr. Charles.
Yes,
And
yes.
I
So that is
think I
important.
got that from the miasma thing when I talked to the gin brewer, right? That was the
Yeah.
gin brewing lady. Okay.
Yeah,
So
she's a
now
bit drunk on her stuff. I mean, it's all the fumes that she was
of
sniffing, of
course.
course.
Yeah,
Just a little,
of course.
just a little.
Really
Yes.
talking about all those natural ingredients and stuff.
Yes.
It's all natural, of course.
Mm-hmm.
So is
Organic
arsenic
as
and
in
cobra venom,
arsenic.
so
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. There are lots of things in nature that are quite dangerous.
I remember taking point against the coven by whining and dining a bunch of vapid wealthy people and convincing them that helping the bad guys is not in their best interest.
That is so the Felix solution to a problem.
Have you considered, instead of helping the bad guys, just like give me stuff instead? Like
Self-interest, of course, the best combative.
it works. I was a life coach for a bit. Like
And some of the advice was actually not bad, so
Okay, all right,
go figure.
go figure. All right.
The most personally momentous thing for Ellie last time round was saying to Mordecai, "Hey, could you not? Could you not?" Regarding the constable. So, we'll see how that goes.
Let's see how that goes for sure. Absolutely. Yeah, actually, let me look at everybody's personal conditions at the moment, because God knows. Let's see, where the hell is everybody at right now? I mean, I know we had some vulnerable moves or whatever from last time. Some people can get rid of them, some people can't. Yeah. So notably, condition free at the moment. Although, now I have to reconsider, because that's 6, man. How do you feel after having rats like literally jump at your face from that corpse?
That was. The presence of the rats was not nearly as unnerving as the talking of the rats.
Oh yes, the talking of the rats. What did they say to you? Do you remember?
They told me to tell Gabriel hello, I believe.
What do you think of that?
I'm puzzled but very uncomfortable. I think how best to encapsulate it. I mean, puzzled but uncomfortable really sums it up, but if you have a better way of putting it than uncomfortable.
Would you say disturbed?
Yeah.
Yeah. Put disturbed as your condition
Okay.
for right now. Because I think Ellie's a little bit too tough to say icky wicky. So, yeah. All right. So Felix has one more address to look at. Mordecai is still, as far as we know, coming from Miswell, but staying still in Miswell with Nora.
Yeah, I mean he has a lead now,
Yep.
so he might want to follow up with that.
Okay. And where's Ellie going after coming from Jenny's, or where she thinks she's heading?
I think I'm gonna head back to Hargrave house and see if any of my fellow hunters are there and if they know who this Gabriel is.
Got it. Okay. Felix. What's that last address? You said you were going to Rutland, I believe?
The Rutland Gardens Estate.
Okay, let me
which sounded the most luxurious. The other two are like just street addresses with some rich weirdos. This sounds like it has like real estate.
Well, let's find out, shall we? Let's find out together. Rutland Gardens. It is a large home on a cul-de-sac. A doorman in a powdered wig. And, well, the house itself smells of juniper. Paint the scene. Mrs. Blanchard, a Timothea Blanchard, a socialite, is excessively formal with guests. What do you experience that confirms this? And this is for everyone, before you even get to meet Mrs. Blanchard.
That she's very particular with guests. Like, she doesn't just see anyone. She's very formal with guests.
Formal, yes.
The butler accepts your calling card on a silver tray in order to find out whether the lady of the house is in, as far as you're concerned.
I think the butler's paying very close attention when you introduce yourself to how to pronounce your name and will echo it back at you almost perfectly, which is kind of odd because I think Ellie might be used to, if not Ellie, but most people will not pronounce the name the way you pronounce it, Felix, I imagine. But the butler will echo it back at you perfectly.
Okay. I think that everything in the home moves with a very precise rhythm. Everybody, you walk into the room, it's always you take 5 steps and then step to the left. It sort of feels like a perfectly ordered clockwork home.
So, for something like this, how are you dressed and how do you introduce yourself to the butler?
She's very formal. I can't do the silly outfit this time. She wouldn't even see me if I was like that. I think I am dressed like Mordecai. I am wearing a very fine, sleek suit made of silk. I hold myself with a very stern, prim, direct demeanor.
That must take every single bit of will that you must possess to just remain in character. I want to know how you scar your reflection for this.
Oh, jeez. Okay. I think we go back to the portrait in that underground tavern. The visage in this sort of light, like Greek robe reaching out. I think that behind it we see sort of like a shell of skin, sort of like when a snake sheds its skin, we see that there's another shape sort of falling away behind the figure. So it's still there smiling, but there's this sense that this isn't the same face. Like it hasn't always been this way.
Right. I mean, just make sure that you mark the scar, but also, like, it must gall that you have to, assume a different nature for this.
I think it's more a matter of wearing the same Mordecai look, but wearing it better.
Oh, damn. Oh,
like,
man.
okay, we're dealing with some coven magic people. I could do it better. I could do this.
Oh, interesting. Ah, that's a little different. Did you swipe something from Mordecai, actually, in moving things?
Whose calling card do you think I'm using?
So basically the butler was saying, Mr. Mordecai Laurence? Is that what this?
Yes.
Oh my God. God damn. Okay.
You're welcome. I'll take the scarred reflection and everything. But
oh my God. No, it's great.
I'm giving you free fuel here.
Oh my God. Okay. Oh God. Ugh. Just beautiful. Oh my God. All right. So, butler steps off very precisely, the 5 steps, da-da-da-da-da-da. And you hear very precise steps coming back as you see a woman come into the room, tall, stately, older, kind of almost
tall, stately.
Like almost, well, anyway, she's attractive, but it's ruined a little bit because of 2 things. Her pursed lips, which ruins her expression, and her too tight corset, because she's trying just a little tiny bit too hard.
Okay.
And like the butler, is at the door before she even gets there and says, Mrs. Timothea Blanchard. Okay. And then she will approach with a very, measured step and say, in a voice, Mr. Laurence, I presume?
Yes.
This is a visit that is unexpected, but I appreciate that you have come to call. I noted the address. Belgrave Square.
Yes. So you're familiar with our line of work, then?
I can only assume it is because of my interesting or not so interesting visitors from a week ago.
Yes, that is indeed the case, and the dangers that you face therein.
Dangers?
Yes, dangers.
Well, I can't imagine that they would be anything other than ridiculous entertainment. I had actually hosted them on a dare. And she kind of sniffs.
And there's nothing missing from your home? And I will begin to prowl around the room, trying to
Excuse
pick up
me.
details.
Excuse me. We would not allow them to be wandering about the domicile unaccompanied or unattended. They, well, if you must know, it was a waste of a perfectly good evening. If you ask me, I would have much preferred a round of euchre or whist, but perhaps a spirited game of statues, but instead, our night was given over to readings of cards and such.
And I'll draw up to her. So you allowed them to practice their craft here, within your threshold, within your home.
It was a dare by one of my guests.
Then you may already be lost.
You can't possibly entertain the idea that it was anything other than a mere farce, parlor trick.
You say that you would not allow them to prowl. You say we. But I believe it is you who would deny them. And from what I am hearing, madam, they kept you well distracted. Can you truly trust your employees? Can you truly trust these people who are so low-born?
She remains with herself, be very, like put together. Her hands are folded in front of her, and she's still standing very stately in front of you, but there's a bead of sweat rolling down her, for her forehead, like down her temple. I don't know what you mean. I was watching all my guests enjoying the entertainment. And my servants, they are well trained and loyal. They wouldn't think to consort with such entertainers. What are you implying?
I'm implying that you are in a home with no allies. You are surrounded by people who are loyal to appearances, to a paycheck, and to the maintenance of comfort. And once you find that there's a different way to achieve appearances and comfort and order, that you become superfluous. There are many hungers to feed, Timothea.
You presume too much by using my given name.
I speak your true name, that name that was given to you, that speaks most truly to what is beautiful in your heart.
It is Mrs. Blanchard, Mr. Laurence. And she looks away from him.
And Mr. Blanchard? Where's he in this? Was he the one who dared you to entertain?
Mr. Blanchard is away on business.
Ah. Now it begins clear. I see. And how long has he been away on business?
Information move, please.
Yep. With presence.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Unless you want to use something else. I mean,
Nope. Straight roll.
yeah, because, well, hold on. Most beloved.
I'm not like immediately facing a threat.
No, but I mean, like, since you're really pushing the point here,
Mm.
and you're trying to do this under cover of being Mordecai. So, like, you're kind of being a little shady here. Your most beloved's beaming through here. It's like, I'm just gonna push the point.
Okay.
So disadvantage.
I'll take it. I'll deal with the disadvantage. Failure will be fun. Okay, so 3d6, keep the lowest 2, right?
Yes.
And we'll add 3 to that. All right. That is an 8.
Okay. On an 8.
Could have been a 13.
So basically your question to her is, it's like, where's Mr. Blanchard and all this stuff?
I'm trying to amp up the paranoia. It seems like mentioning that she didn't have any allies, that it was just her and the servants, and leaving her vulnerable to be taken advantage of.
Okay.
I'm kind of amping up the like, okay, yeah, Mr. Blanchard's been away. Are you sure he's not setting you up to take the fall for something? Are you sure that he's not the one who's manipulating these people to come out of town and ruin something? Felix doesn't know. Felix doesn't care. He's just trying to make sure that she's so in her head that she can't help the coven.
Right. So ask your question again. What what are you trying to instill with her? That he is...
That Mr. Blanchard is setting her up. That the visit from the Fellowship of Dreamers, the cover name for the coven, wasn't just something to be cast aside as a mere entertainment, but part of a grander conspiracy of which she is a victim.
Okay. Ellie, name something that Mr. Blanchard would normally keep at the home, but it is rather suspicious. It is not at the home anymore.
Household ledger. The finances, the record of the finances of running the home.
And, she, when you say that, when you ask that question, her face whirls around at you and her lips, like, drop open. And it's like, how did you know that? How did you know that his ledger, his household ledger, was gone?
Because you are trafficking in powers that you do not understand. If you would open your home, allow these creatures to pass your threshold and practice their dark arts, you are not taking proper precaution.
It would have nothing to do with these charlatans. They can't do anything with his accounts. It's...
Nothing. They can't secure food, ritual supplies, ritual locations. Eat you out of house and home and safety and prosperity, and leaving you nothing but a destitute husk.
He wouldn't do that.
Felix will sit and wait.
When you do that, you notice that her hands that were, like, calmly, like, folded one on top of the other start to be wringing. even though the rest of her is like pretty much still as you saw her, when she came in.
Fine. What do you propose I should do?
And she moves from we to the I.
And I think at this, the facade cracks. That skin of Mordecai that he's been wearing fades away, and the undeniable begins to shine through. You reclaim that which is you. You are Mrs. Timothea Blanchard. Look at the order you have set here. He has been gone. This estate is yours. Do you not see the beauty here? This is not some mundane chaos like the streets of London. This is your own personal oasis. And you're going to just let him take the ledgers to secure prosperity away from you. You go after him. You secure the estate, gather whatever aid you can, and you find where Mr. Blanchard is, and you take your prosperity.
And then you notice that those hands that were ringing, you notice that each of those fingers, except for the thumb, of course, have very valuable looking rings. And then she brings them up to her face and looks.
You may have an idea there after all, Mr. Laurence.
And her saying that name kind of, yes, I have a different sight. I have seen that this leads to a blossoming for you and a brighter future.
And then she will touch like the diamonds that are at her neck.
Brighter indeed.
I think we kind of zoom out from there. It was an 8, so is there a consequence related to that, or?
There will be, yes. I'm going to give you something. If not a condition, then something else will happen after this
Perfect.
particular moment. But I want to speak to somebody else. Mordecai. All right. So Miswell Hill, you and Nora are coming from the doodad. Hello, the gin shop, the distillery. Yes.
Indeed.
Yeah. Okay. Let me get to the. There we go. And I think. Let me see. Who do you run into? Oh, okay. So I think, when you get out onto the street, you start to notice that there's like some kind of movement. There's like carts being brought in. I think there's like boxes being taken out and like kind of stacked in like kind of like like stalls, and it's almost like things are being set out for aid. You can't quite tell what's being set out just yet, but it's almost like an aid station for folks. And the people that are setting them up are like kind of shabbily dressed, like to the same effect as the people that are here in Miswell, like working class and just like not very affluent at all.
Wow, interesting.
Yeah, and they're just like kind of like sitting out like some materials, like I guess to try to ease like some of it. I think they're giving out like blankets, and then like also they're kind of like giving out like something that looks like masks.
Huh.
But also like like they're like rudimentary, but I mean like they look like they would be helpful against the miasma. And then like somebody else is like talking about like trying to get like talking about evacuation efforts, at least about getting people evacuated from the particular area where the miasma was seen, and then trying to move them into like different lodgings, at least temporarily, until something can be done, or like, to talk about like, what is it? Plumbing or something. I mean, like just some like some efforts to try and talk about things that can be done to kind of improve the area and then try to help the people that are here.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Because we still don't know why our friend is doing this whole miasma thing. That might actually give us a hint. I will pretend that I'm interested about this.
Mm-hmm. And Nora will go up to to some of the people and actually start to question. It's like
that's probably a better idea to let Nora take the point on this.
Yeah.
Because I know I'm not all too personal. People think I'm arrogant, which, fair enough, I am.
Well, she's also dressed like, more middle class, like more,
Well, we'll have to rectify this.
But anyway, so she's dressed a little bit more closely to what they're wearing and stuff.
Yeah.
So anyway, so she's starting to talk to them, and then you realize that the couple of people that are leading some of the efforts that are dressed in these clothing, Nora has gone up to the one fellow who has their hair tied back in a ponytail.
Mm-hmm.
He turns and it's Madelancholy. And then the one woman who is unpacking some of the boxes and giving out some of the masks, her hair's tied back. She's not wearing her usual hat or her usual gowns, but she is wearing shabbier clothing, and it is Laurel. It is Ms. Walton. But they're giving out this aid and such, and they're working with some of the workers here to be able to pass this stuff around and to be able to talk about evacuation efforts and such. And they're setting up this stall.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I think I will engage Miss Walton.
Okay. And she's unpacking a box as you rock up, and your shadow falls on the box, and she turns. Oh.
Miss Walton, good day. I did not expect you to be here.
Mr. Laurence, I believe.
Indeed. Your neighbor.
We had met in the carriage. Yes.
We did, yes, indeed. We did.
How do you do?
Oh, I am doing very well, considering that it's daytime, but that is very charitable of you.
Yes, we are trying to give relief efforts to the poor conditions here in Miswell Hill. Miss Pemberton Potts thought it would be a good idea to do some work here. As you can see, this neighborhood needs it.
Yes, a very commendable effort indeed. Well, I was here myself because there is this odd phenomenon that I'm currently investigating, which I think you know about, pointing at the gas masks.
We have heard, yes. And again, we are trying to help those who are being hurt by such a thing.
I'm moving them away from him. So is that your idea, or was that also Miss Pemberton Potts' initiative?
Mrs. Pemberton Potts is quite concerned about conditions in many different places in London.
Yes, sometimes they are rather deplorable, aren't they?
Yes.
Well,
there are things that we believe go unnoticed by higher circles, And
Mm.
we try to bring aid where we can, when we can.
Mm. Well, if there's any, well, I would say if there's any help I can give, but honestly, this might not be my forte.
Well, I mean, you can just as easily, again, pass out simple things like these masks, yes?
Let me take a look at these.
Absolutely. Yeah, and then she will pass you. It's essentially like a one of the cloth masks that you can put on and stuff like that. But I mean, it's got like an inner filter and stuff,
Mm.
like a
Interesting.
like a little charcoal
Mhm.
film that's in it and such. But yeah, she's given you like one of these things, and then like she's kind of given you like several to pass around.
Oh no, I'm not passing them around, please.
Oh,
These are peasants. And forgive me, but that is not why I'm here. I'm here for the grander scheme of things. I was just looking at the mask to see if there are any improvements could be made.
I
That is
see.
something. So that is the assistance I might lend. Not, I'm not. Forgive me, but I'm not doing that.
I see.
Yes. Well, is there any improvement that can be made to these masks that Mordecai can see? And is there any hint of the supernatural about these things, or any hint of flowers? Because that's the association he has with
No.
Miss Pemberton Potts.
No, I mean nothing
Okay.
supernatural about it. I mean they're
Okay.
pretty, they're pretty like filter cloth. That's
Yeah.
basically what it is.
Mhm.
And Laurel Walton just gives you like a very measured look as you say, oh, like just trying to see if there's a way to improve them,
Mhm.
and not willing to pass them out. It's like, and then she just gives you that
Mhm.
oh, and says, well, I wish you well on your hunt, Mr. Laurence.
Thank you. This mask is excellent. By the way,
Thank
I
you.
commend. I
Miss-
commend the construction.
Dr. Holzer is
Ah.
a fine scientist as well as a physician.
Mm. Yes. So I've gathered. Anyway, thank you for letting me look at this. Anyway, do you know Dr. Charles, where they might be found?
I have not heard of this Dr. Charles.
Oh.
I guess it's someone here in this neighborhood. Pardon.
Mhm.
I believe I need to put one of these masks on myself. And she will proceed to put one on as an example, and will actually like turn to show and give a demonstration to some of the people that have actually come up to receive
But
them.
there's the miasma is currently not in effect, right?
No,
It's
but
just
I mean she
just
will.
the bad air quality in London.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
But
Interesting. Interesting.
but yeah, she'll turn away, and then she will proceed to explain what they're doing and how they're trying to help, and she will turn to Maglasang, who's helping some of the workers like distribute and such, and he's still kind of in conversation with Nora. I don't know if you call her to accompany you, or if you like let her just kind of talk a little bit more, or what have you.
And I'm watching what she's doing, actually. I think that might give me some. I would like to know if Magnuson is interested. In what fashion Magnuson is interested in her. Is this a
Oh, they're
romantic
unpacking.
thing?
They're unpacking boxes together, and he's smiling at her.
Okay, that does not tell me much. Well, but he's not trying to ensorcel her, which is the one thing I could recognize. Flirting is a little beyond, again, what Mordecai really understands.
He's like he's showing her like putting on a mask on himself, then maybe like kind of like, helping her put on like one of the masks, but that's about it,
Okay.
and smiling at
Okay.
her. So,
Okay. So he is trying to make a connection.
hmm.
I'm not entirely sure if I like that, but it might give us a glimpse. So I will let it happen for now. Eventually, this will get boring to me because there's nothing here. I might question some of these people who are running around, whether they know Dr. Charles in the meantime.
Yeah, sure. Hold on, let me see. Yeah, I mean, like, if you question, like, some people, I mean, like, they might say, like, one of them, like, on the outskirts or something like that may, like, kind of point you out, like, a squirrely little dude who's, like, hollow-eyed, who starts to go down an alleyway, like, on the outskirts, once he sees what they're doing. What Laurel and Maglasang are about, and like kind of like we'll duck down an alleyway and like head that way. So I don't know if you follow.
Of course I do.
Okay.
Yes, I will follow. I will see where this person is going who looks so squirrely.
You get into this alleyway, which leads into this like leaning place of looming tenements, basically. And I mean, it's basically free for all. I mean, like, you can go in and out, like, no big deal. I mean, people are doing it all the time. And what it leads you to is like a filthy room, where there's somebody going into, like, there's people going in and out of these rooms. Obviously not like, not above board business in any way, shape, or form. You can just before you enter into the place where you saw this squirrely looking individual go into, you hear this young man going in and asking Dr. Charles if he can have the money that was promised.
Oh, interesting. I think I'll follow this, maybe in a way that they don't immediately know that I'm here, because I want to listen to this conversation and maybe intervene in Dr. Charles's favor if that becomes necessary.
Right. And you hear, I think, if you're waiting outside of the room, like, you hear like this hissed conversation of like,
You can't have. No, you can't have the money. It's the experiment. Just it hasn't been finished yet. You just have the marks on your arm. Haven't seen any other evidence that it's working yet. When I do, then you can have your money. Not until then. Go. When it is complete, then you can show me, and then I can give you the money.
and you can hear the guy scrabbling as if like he's fallen to his knees. It's like, please, come on, I need it, I need it, please.
No. First evidence, then money. Go.
And then you hear more scrabbling, and then like the guy that went in is literally on his hands and knees and crawling out.
Oh, I will help them up and engage in conversation.
I mean, he's huddled in on himself. He's like, he barely even notices that you're doing that.
Oh, he will notice when I will look at him and lift his head if I need be and say, I will talk to you now. And you will talk to me, unless you want things to get considerably worse.
I don't even know you, mate. The fuck are you?
Oh, that you don't need to be concerned with who I am. What I am interested in is your deal with Dr. Charles. Tell me about this. Now.
I don't want to tell you shit.
He's and like he's like closed off like this, like in your arms, and just
He owes me money. That's all you need to know. That's it.
Oh, no, that's not it. That's not what I want to know. I want to know what's on your arm and what the deal is. Please tell me. I don't want to do anything horrible to you,
I mean,
but I will if I have to.
I mean, if you really want to see, I mean, all you have to do is like, pretty much like, just look at his arm and you can see like there's ugly infected needle marks
Wow.
visible on his arm. But yeah, you don't see anything else at the moment.
So what are you putting into your arm then?
It's not me. It's not me. It's not me putting it in. It's him.
No.
It's him.
Uh-huh. Oh. Well, apparently you have no idea what you're talking about. I will talk to Dr. Charles myself now. Thank you for your cooperation. Now push him aside.
Damn. Okay.
You didn't do anything to him.
No, but
Just threaten him over.
damn. Did this affect you at all? Like just like just like talking to this guy and like seeing the marks on his arm at all?
I don't think so. Honestly, I don't think Mordecai is very much. Mordecai is right now. He's in hunting mode. This is an obstacle. Obstacle. It has been avoided. He didn't have to do anything to that person. He was quite. I think he was a little relieved that he didn't have to follow through on what he was intimating, but he would have.
Okay. All right.
So that's the thing, that he's relieved now that this conversation is over and it doesn't have to do anything horrible.
Okay.
He does not enjoy doing horrible things to people.
All right. Well, we'll see. All right. So, if you do push this kid aside, and then you go into...
Wait, how old is that kid?
Who can tell? I mean...
Okay.
He's pale and he's pale, underfed, and he's... Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize that this was a kid. I thought this was a young...
I mean, a young man. I mean, but again, just...
Okay. Cool. Yeah, it doesn't really change anything.
So, but yeah.
Then I walk into Dr. Charles's place and say, Dr. Charles, I presume.
This is a filthy room containing a wooden table covered with beakers, flasks, droppers, and other crude, unsanitary instruments. The sole occupant hastily removes a sample of what appears to be blood from a flame of a Bunsen burner. What evidence, this is a paint the scene for everybody, what evidence do you see that the doctor is not part of the respectable medical establishment?
Aside from the obvious?
Aside from the obvious, thanks.
Oh, I think he has on one of these ramshackle walls a really run down, badly made forgery of a diploma from, I don't know, some university or something.
This is not an era of high sanitation in medicine, but no respectable doctor would have that many stains on his shirt cuffs and hands that grimy while he was actively working with experiments.
I don't know. They drove the guy mad who said that we should be washing our hands. So, anyway.
I think on his walls, along with the diploma, there are anatomy diagrams, but uh, either wildly out of date, like medieval era, like this is what your internal organs look like, or more modern ones that have just been marked up in like red ink, like they don't know about the second appendix, and just like he's wildly inaccurate.
Amazing. All right. Well, you see this. You see this filthy, hollowed-eyed guy. Like, he's doing the sample from the Bunsen burner, but then he starts trying to hide all the other stuff, like very futilely, like trying to kick some things underneath this table with no cover or anything like that. And he just starts muttering to himself as he sees you, like, come in. It's like, it's, there's importance to my work. What?
Indeed.
Why are you
there
bothering me?
is, Because there is importance to your work. You do not need to hide it from me. Quite the contrary. I'm very interested in what you're doing here.
As you get closer, you can smell the reek of dried blood.
Well, yes.
Conventional medicine has failed us, of course. It's in the blood, you see. It can be cured. Anything can be cured just by experimentation with blood. And, well, the need for us to do what the milk toast establishment will not. You understand. You understand, right?
I do understand indeed. However, have you considered that blood is only one of the four humors in the human body? And I point to one of his medieval bullshit anatomy charts.
It's the flow. It's the flow from here to here.
And then, like, he points at, like, the bullshit, like, charting on the wall.
Quite important. But this all seems rather pedestrian, what you are doing here.
What?
But it is. Well, I mean, have you considered? My camera doesn't allow me to do it. So, okay. Have you considered looking at the invisible, looking at the spiritual? Everything is connected throughout the body with blood or other things, but there are
humors,
deeper concerns with the human body and healing than just poking at the blood. I think you will find that you have not been quite successful in your endeavors, have you?
Well, I mean, part of it is the humors. It's the air that you breathe. It's the gaseous nature of the air and the things in the air that will permeate into the blood and also affect it.
I see, yes. That is quite clever, actually.
Part of my work. It's part of what I've been working on. Of course. And it's partially through heat, partially through knowing how the cells will coalesce through the heat. And, well, if things have scents, things have smells, things have you associate scents and smells with the gas, and the gas can permeate through the cells of the blood, and the blood goes back into the humans and circulates through all of these things, pointing through the diagrams again.
Yes, but unfortunately, if you get your mixture wrong, people will disintegrate, won't they?
An unfortunate byproduct, but sometimes it becomes useful to people. Certain people find it useful.
Oh, I see. That is also quite interesting. Will you elucidate, please? And I want to do a thingy, information move now.
Sure. Go ahead. Roll with.
Reason?
Yeah,
Friends?
it's fine.
Reason.
Because I mean, like, you're trying to talk to him and trying to
Yeah.
figure out his line of thinking. I mean, you know.
Yeah, I have figured out his line of thinking right now, but okay.
I don't even think it. I don't. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, some part of what he says makes sense, but not a lot of it.
Not a lot of it. Yeah. For
Let's
sure.
see what that's a 10. So yeah.
Oh, 10? Okay, great.
Yeah.
Hold on. What was your specific question to him?
He said something about that someone would pay him to disintegrate people, basically to the effect, or that's what I understood.
Okay.
And Mordecai wants to know more about that.
Okay. I think as you're asking him this question, and he's doing the evil scientist hand rubbing thing, and he's like, you know, like looking like he's muttering to himself, and he's about ready to tell you. I think as your eyes wander about his lab table, oof, grimy is all hell. And like, remember, he was kicking things underneath his lab table.
Yeah.
And like, it's clutter all over the damn place. I think you spot. Let me see if I can pop this clue into the thingy. You spot a sketchbook filled with crazed, roughly drawn charcoal sketches of a looming figure rising from the mist.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, so while he's battling, Mordecai will grab that and say, oh, who's that? You see that?
Yes.
Wow.
It's a driving force.
Wow.
It's the thing that permeates the blood. It's the thing that is partly in the mist itself. It's in the miasma. It is what drives it. It is what makes it progress. It has a mind. It has a force. It is what is its personality.
Wow.
Give it sentience, you give it drive, you give it something to go for, and it knows what to do without you having to necessarily just throw it at things. You can tell it.
No.
You can tell it what to do.
That's quite unsafe. What to do with you now?
But if you have the control, if you have the dissipator, you have something to a failsafe. Then you don't have to worry about it getting out of control, because you can always release the failsafe and it dissipates it.
I don't feel that you have a lot of control over this, though.
No. That's the research. That's the experiment. That's the experiment.
Wow.
It will work. It's within the human body first, and the blood. Yes.
Okay. Interesting. Look, I don't think you should be doing this, honestly. On the streets of the city, at least. You should do it in a far better laboratory than this, and under closely observed conditions.
I do what I do in the name of science. In the name of
a
cure. There is a cure for, well, the ills that bother us. There are things that are plaguing mankind. There are things that are plaguing the environment, aren't there? And what we can do is help it along. Progress. Taking out all that we can. Helping nature along, nurturing progress, right?
I'm unsure, but I think Mordecai would like to put, at least for now, an end to these experiments.
Can't resolve a threat.
I know,
but,
I know.
But how
Maybe
would you like to? How would you like to try?
I can slow it. Maybe I can slow it down at least a little. The whole research thing.
Okay.
So I think he will say, "I think you are missing some things, my friend. You need to take into consideration the ley lines covering London. You are not doing this. I cannot see any lines of the unseen force on your anatomy chart here. They would go from here to there, and he makes a few charcoal thingies, scrabbles. Since you have not considered this, I think it would be better if you started out your research from start. And to help you with that, I will destroy now your laboratory, or at least some of your research. And then I'm calling the entities.
Okay. So, are you pulling off one of your moves?
Yes, I am doing the rites of salt and thingy.
Okay.
Smoke. Which, appropriately enough, right?
Okay. All right. So,
okay.
Specifically say, excuse me, what you're doing with your move and what you're trying to affect.
I just want to affect a little bit of destruction here, like breaking beakers, messing stuff up. I'm not trying to kill him or anything. I'm just trying to, set him back a little.
Let's see. Well, I mean, like your specific effects are do one thing that's beyond human limitations, bar a place or portal to a specific person or creature, trap a person specific or creature, banish a spirit or curse from the person, object, or place it inhabits, communicate with something or something that you don't share a language with, or observe another place or time. So.
Could basically borrow this place from him, right?
Ooh.
I mean, just take him out and be like, okay, no, you're not getting me back in here.
Okay, interesting. Okay, all right, sure.
Okay. If my roll goes well.
Oh yeah, yeah. Otherwise, complication or mess up.
That's with sensitivity, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Cool. Wow, it's a 6.
Okay, so you can use a mask to bump up your roll.
No. But it's a day move, right?
Huh?
It's a day move. We're doing it. Oh no, it's not a day move.
No, because it's your move. I mean, your move,
my move.
Yeah, so your move.
What happens when I mess up my move, though? Where's my move?
I can do anything to hard move it against you, make this exceptionally dangerous.
Oh, I love that.
But just understand that, if I do this, then like there's going to be some serious ass consequences for this. For your 6.
Okay, you've convinced me. I'm putting on a mask.
Okay.
Masks.
Because if you had not taken a mask, I would have had the coven come and kidnap you.
Oh no. Okay, that would have been fun, but I mean, would that have been fun?
I mean, you tell me. I mean, they would have found Gabriel a lot faster than you would have wanted. I'm just saying.
Yeah, no, I'm taking the mask. I'm fine with taking the mask.
So your 7 to 9 means the magic works imperfectly. You will bar him from this place. However, you have to choose your complication. So which complication do you want?
I think I like the condition. Yeah, I like to get a condition.
So what is the specific way that you're barring him from this place? What are your entities doing to keep him out? Because you're in it right now. So
yeah, I'm in it right now.
Yeah. Yes, so what are you guys doing?
I think what I thought I was doing, what I wanted to do, is for my entities to just mess up the place, right? Destroy things and smash stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess it becomes kind of a cyclone of these things flying around. And I think the entities are also using, because this is quite appropriate, my breathing apparatus, my larynx. And Mordecai will start to cough really, really hard, and then drag this person out because there's a cyclone and everything is messed up. And then when they stand outside, he will say, well, you see now what you missed. To take into account here, right? And then I will leave him and go and find Nora and maybe something to stop the coughing.
Yeah.
Unless he wants to say something about the whole thing.
Yeah, this cyclone does not necessarily go unnoticed. I mean, we
No.
see that like upwards in the tenement, like, where you had gone. It's like, we see like a collapsing, like window blown out, like some of the collapsing like timbers and everything like that. And I think everyone at the aid stall has like looked to see. I mean, like you guys literally just appeared like in a whirlwind, like, and we just like see the woof of the wind, like, just whipping around your forms. And I think as you're coughing there, and you have Dr. Charles, like, practically whining next to you, like, oh my work, oh my work, what am I gonna do? And he's just like just wringing his hands in the street. Your condition is, because I can't think of a way to make it really make it really really pithy right now. It's like your current condition is tender larynx.
Uh-huh. Okay.
So, all right. So you're gonna have to speak,
Yeah, I have to speak like
rather
this.
carefully. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Nora will tend to you, and it's like, come away from here. The conditions aren't wonderful. Here, please put on one of these masks. And she'll give you one of the masks from the aid station. Jesus. and of course, like, Laura Walton and Magla Sang are giving you very, very careful looks right now as they're passing out stuff from the aid station as you come away from here. And of course, Dr. Charles is looking rather harried.
Good.
Yes. And Ellie, before we go on break, I'm so sorry that we're delaying, but I just want to make sure that we kind of get this in here, because this will be quick, because I'm actually going to cliffhang this one before break.
Okay.
You're on your way back to Hargrave House, huh? From coming from
from Jenny Johnston's.
Yeah. Miss Fletcher.
Mm.
Why are you here?
This constable, or who is?
He seems to have recovered a lot faster than expected. However, I mean, like, you see, like, peeking through his uniform, like, you see, like, you can see that there's kind of like bandages or something, like, across his chest and such. And he looks like he's kind of walking a little bit more forward, as if he's in pain.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing
I
here?
didn't expect to see you on your feet so fast.
It's as I had said, I'm the only one here. I wasn't expecting you back here.
Well, as you know, there's something going on in Limehouse, so I'm still looking around.
Someone had mentioned that there was something at Jenny's.
Really?
What do you know? And is there something I need to take a look at? Please tell me.
As you have already learned to your cost, there are matters that you might not be ready to deal with. I know you want to, and I appreciate your dedication to your work and to the people here, but this is not a matter for the constabulary.
And then he starts to loom a little bit and get a little bit his back up. Are you hiding something from me? What's in Jenny's?
Nothing at the moment.
And he's actually not going to wait. He actually doesn't wait to hear you say that. He actually will push past you and go into Jenny's.
Yeah.
Do
Okay.
you follow or do you?
Yes.
And he will go. He will go talk to you, and he will go. Yeah, he will go talk to Jenny Johnston directly. And then, like, do you? What do you do? I mean, he's literally going to force his way into Jenny's and confront her.
I'm going to try to step over and say, okay, let's be calm. Let's talk about this. Let's not. We don't have to be ordering people around, or we can do this diplomatically.
What are you hiding, Miss Fletcher? And this is me being...
I know. Can we talk somewhere that isn't here? I don't want to disrupt Jenny's business.
Okay, you're gonna have to do a day move, and you will have to do it with presence. You
Okay.
have to... Yeah.
And I'm rattled enough that I presume that I have disadvantage on this.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'm afraid he's going to just blow me off and keep doing what he's doing.
What'd you roll?
I rolled... Oh, I got a 10.
With disadvantage? Really?
With disadvantage.
Oh my god, you were...
4 plus 5 plus 1.
Looks like somebody really wants to be convincing. Okay, tell me what
power of love.
Tell me what you say. Tell me what you do to convince him not to do it.
Please, this is a matter that involves a lot of people and a lot of people's livelihoods as well as safety.
I understand that, but I mean, I also have to be concerned about their livelihood and safety.
I know, and that's why I would like to talk to you about this rather than you pressing ahead and making a scene. Please. Because this is ugly, and you've already felt how ugly it can get.
Do you touch him on his chest?
I will reach out and just very lightly.
Okay. That'll do it. All right. Where do you go?
Let's see. Where to bring him? Not going back to the pub we were in last time, that's for damn sure. Maybe just some out of the way alley outside to where we can sit on some crates or something.
Okay.
I'm not trying to take him too far away from the spot he's interested in.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Definitely not the alley by the Limehouse School, though. No.
No, they like you there. Anyway.
All right. But
okay.
So, all right.
What?
The thing that attacked you.
Yes.
has killed. At least 3 times. And the condition of the bodies makes it clear that there's something unnatural going on.
I need to do something. Miss Fletcher, I can't just stand by and watch my people.
I know.
You understand, right?
I do. I do understand. And I think I want you to be able to help. And this is a bad one. There's no question that this is a bad situation. But I also you've already gotten attacked once. And though you're on your feet, I can see that it's force of will keeping you there.
I can't.
You can't stand by. I know.
Tell me how I can help. Please. Something. Anything. I don't want to feel like I'm helpless when my people are helpless too.
Yeah. Oh, I want you to be able to help. I'm just a bit
Let's go ahead and have you think about that, as we fade into commercial break, and everybody take a break, 10 minutes, and then we'll come back, and then we'll resolve that scene slightly, and then we'll go into dusk. Okay, so where we left off is Ellie talking to Constable Lansing. What are you gonna?
Yeah.
What are you gonna say? He wants to know how to help his people.
Yeah.
His neighborhood.
The thing that I'm gonna ask of you, in return for me telling you more about what's going on, is that you not try to involve your superiors. This is a matter they can't deal with. And they're just going to make a mess of it and charge in and blame the wrong people. You know that they will look for easy scapegoats because of the neighborhood.
If I hadn't already heard the disparaging notes on Hargrave House, then I would hesitate to believe you, but I have. So, give me something, Miss Fletcher. Give me... At this point, I'll believe almost anything except for you telling me that I have to keep completely out of it to save everyone.
All right. Come with me to Hargrave House and we'll talk about vampires.
So, this is actually real then?
As real as a thing that clawed its way out of you, or tried to.
Those were my only good shirt and waistcoat. You know that, right?
Yeah, I can't help but feel a little responsible for that. Yeah, I will, I'm sure one of my housemates can lend you something, at the very least, and, we'll work from there.
All right.
So, yeah, gonna take him back. and bring him to the kitchen because that's where
but
we do all our socializing for some reason.
while you're on your way back, one of the questions
Yeah.
he's going to ask you is, how are you involved in all this? Besides being an American, of course. But why? Why you?
I saw things in America, experienced things that made me aware of matters that most people don't believe. Ghosts, for example. Um, and when I came here, I was looking for people who were similarly aware because I I'm not the sort of person who can move through the world without getting involved, I guess. Who knows? Maybe if I was a man, I'd have been a police officer. Who knows? But Hargrave House is how I can do something.
I understand that. And I appreciate you helping me with this. And
Yeah.
hopefully we can put this matter to bed soon.
I hope so.
And he'll come with you to Hargrave House. All right. So, given that, close out a day phase. Thank you very much. Oh boy. Let's
And
go.
of course, I have brought him to Hargrave House just in time for the thing.
Yes! Sorry. So I rub my hands and just get so excited. Hot damn. Okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, please, dice.
Please be mean to Ellie. Is that what you're saying?
No! Why would I do that? Why?
Okay.
Why would I do that? Hold on, let me get into witch dice. I have not gotten to witch dice
So
today.
Lansing can't help you.
Nope.
It has to be another hunter.
Yes.
Okay.
Although it would be hilariously funny if he was there. I'm so excited. You have no idea. Okay. Sorry. Composure. I should roll for composure, but I won't. Okay. Dusk phase. We shall go to dusk phase. Dusk phase. Resolve any playbook moves or custom moves that are resolved during the dusk phase. American, the quickening.
Right. Okay. Now I have a condition, so I would be rolling at disadvantage, but this is dire enough that I'm gonna use an item for my personal quarters so that I'm rolling straight rather than a disadvantage.
Okay.
And the item that I'm using, I'm not gonna go physically to my room and access it, but I'm gonna be thinking about that bundle of personal letters.
Okay.
And
You be rolling.
these aren't happy thoughts.
Right.
That
But
are
it keeps
inspired.
you grounded enough, like, you know, to get you through composure or sensitivity, just to try to mitigate this crap.
That is the hope.
That is the hope. So 2d6 plus your composure or sensitivity, please. 10. Amazing. Wow. You know, they say that witch dice is friendly and nice and stuff. sometimes I believe it, and sometimes I don't, but today we believe it. Damn. Didn't want to grant my wish. Fine, witch dice. Be nice. Believe in love. It's alright. It's fine. Damn it.
I'm sure it won't last.
I'm sure
It'll
it won't
find an
last.
even worse time.
Your body is stronger and faster, and you manage to keep the quickening in check. You roll with advantage when you take actions that use vitality until the next dawn phase. Damn it. Okay. Well, then he's going to be absolutely surprised if he's in on whatever you plan on doing during the night phase, and it better be goddamn exciting.
That's the intent. That's the
Okay.
intent.
Okay. So, let's see. What else? What else are we doing today? Paint the scene question about the house. Let's see. What do we got for that? Rooms of Hargrave House. I'm not going to do that to you.
Oh, now you have to let us know what you're
Yeah,
talking
exactly.
about.
And
I
also
was
the dice.
thinking,
Pitch
I was
that.
I was thinking about the servants' quarters, but I won't do that to Ellie today.
Oh, the
Ah,
dice were already nice to her.
I know, but
we let's build up to that.
yeah, let's build up to it
Yeah.
because again,
We haven't even. I don't even know his first.
you still haven't asked him his first fucking name.
I'm going to tonight, but yeah.
standing over the smoldering corpse of a vampire. So, if this isn't too awkward,
I can't wait.
I think this constitutes an introduction.
I really. It would be just adorable. That. Yeah. You help him out, he helps you out, then you can trade on first names. It's great. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, sorry.
So which room are we going to describe?
Trophy room. Trophy room.
Okay.
Sorry. There were hunters in Hargrave House before you. Trophies from their encounters with the supernatural can be found here. Describe one.
Oh.
Damn. Okay. Yeah, and please go ahead and fill in the cell once you have it. What's in the trophy room?
There's a pelt. It's been nicely prepared, not as a taxidermy mount, but as a flat piece to hang on a wall. It has both fur and feathers, and not in a neat, elegant heraldic griffin kind of way, in a weird patchwork, uh, as if it were stitched together from different creatures in patches the size of a dinner plate. Uh, though no stitch marks are in evidence.
I think it holds a cage. It's not a cage with these bars. It's just closed box, but it's clearly something about it tells you that it's a cage. It's locked very tightly, and it does not have a sign saying "Do not open." But somehow you know you should not open this. There is a. It is. It is this box is in another. And the box is in the cage. Exactly, the box is in a cage just and nobody has the key to the cage. There does not seem to be any. Who knows what's in this box?
there is a seamless glass jar rimmed with an iron frame, and inside, floating in a liquid, is this writhing bit of meat that wriggles sluggishly until you get close to it. And then it mimics your face, or the face of someone you hold dear, or something that you fear. And it seems like it's a smaller part of a greater whole.
Delightful. Awesome. Okay. So, Would you like to answer a question?
Yes.
What do we got? So we've
Mhm.
got Limehouse Lurker, and
Oh.
you have six clues available to explain the four complexity of if the vampire is old, where is its nest? Resolve the threat by infiltrating its nest and then destroying it or convincing it to leave London. So the clues that are available to you are: an opium den patron claims a small childlike voice from the shadows has been castigating them for their vice. A passage, hallway, or other thoroughfare that has been made unreachable by the sun, capital S. Ancient Sumerian language whispered as you see a runic clay tablet in your vision. The smell of recently charred flesh in an unusual place and in full daylight. And a map of London marked with the locations of the vampire attacks. Okay. Oh, and the TBD from Ellie and Mordecai vulnerable
Mhm.
scene. I thought you guys had come up with something already.
No,
Oh,
there was one from the Ellie and Felix scene, but not the Ellie
yeah.
and Mordecai scene, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, yeah, whatever you guys want to come up to put your thumbs on the scale for that one. So, yeah. Anybody have any theories that they want to float around using the clues that you do have? Again, where is this nest?
I think that it must be very, very close to Jenny Johnston's for a patron to hear
Could be echoes.
whispering.
Could be echoes.
True.
Mm,
I'm wondering if, when an area has been built up and built around over and over, sometimes you get lost spaces between buildings. Uh, that used to be alleys or passages or parts of now demolished buildings that have been cut off from the outside. And I'm wondering if there's a space like that behind the opium den. And as far as cutting it off from the sun, it could be something as simple as a mud brick roof or something like that over that space.
Maybe it's underground though,
That could be too.
because there are a lot of underground rivers, tunnels, and things. I was thinking maybe it's an underground charnel house or something,
ooh.
Ooh, that would make sense.
so that we can explain the smell.
Mm.
I have two suggestions.
Mm-hmm.
One, it's in the sewers. Just that would allow for something that's away from daylight, something that has really bad smells, especially if we put it somewhere near like the rookery. It allows for them to move about the city.
True.
But the one thing it doesn't cover is the ancient Sumerian language of the clay tablet. And for that, I would suggest that its home is beneath the British Museum.
Yes, I was thinking about the whole that myself.
I think that it finds comfort, it finds additional resources, it finds prey when it doesn't want to skitter about London. Maybe there's an underground passage that leads into the sewers so it can move freely. That would describe the runic clay tablet. Maybe it's on display. The map of London shows all of the different passageways that feed into this. The recently charred flesh might have been navigating the museum itself and going somewhere that wasn't covered in light. The small childlike voice from the castigating them, maybe it's echoing something that it heard as people were going through the museum or something.
Or it could be castigating the researchers, like, yeah, that's bullshit, your theories about what this is not this is not a ceremonial tool. This is clearly it's a sex thing.
Because it is ancient.
I know
yeah.
what this is.
Yes. Ritual object, my foot.
Yeah, exactly.
They use this for
Anyway,
Yeah.
a sex aid.
I love it. Oh my god.
And so what do we want to do with that that floating clue? How do we want to?
What were we talking about, Ellie? We're talking about.
I was talking about please don't kill my boyfriend.
Yeah, yes, that's what it was.
Because you were also talking about how frustrated you were that
Yeah,
you didn't
yes.
that you didn't learn Acadian or
oh yes,
and
yes.
then, like,
that's true. Yeah,
you were
Acadian
trading
versus
off like the different
Sumerian.
things.
Yeah, so maybe something in there made us at least mention or think about the British Museum. Like that's where you'd learn something like that, because there are very rare pieces where you would actually be able to learn Akkadian or Sumerian or anything like that.
Right. And therefore it's a place that a being that spoke one of those languages might gravitate to.
Yes,
So,
exactly.
yeah.
Sure. So what does your clue have to do with to solidify the deal, basically? Or it could seal the deal some other way. I mean, to say what this nest involves, or where it is, because then that would guarantee you a +2, I guess.
Yeah, maybe we were thinking about this, and then thinking about the museum, and boyfriends and stuff like that. There is a chapel underneath the British Museum that has been built over, but it used to be a chapel. That might be a very good place for a vampire because it's desecrated now.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And we were talking about boyfriends. Not saying, but,
Okay.
I am looking forward, I think, to what's going to happen when the two of you come back to Hargrave House and find us there. But
I'm curious if Mordecai will see Felix in his clothes and what he will.
Oh my god, this is just gold. This is just
Right?
freaking gold.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I feel like there should be something about Dusk that just involves like scenes, because you come back together, you're like, wait a minute. Shit happened during the day, and then the hunters
No
have an
time to talk
opportunity-
about it. We have to go jump into
I
action
know,
now.
right? It's like, but there's like a but. There's like a but ... Yeah. Anyway. Okay.
Why are you wearing my clothes? No time to explain. We have a vampire to kill.
Exactly. We need to talk about this first. Okay. All right. So is that what we're going with? We're going with it's the chapel under the British Museum because of all these things.
yeah.
Okay. So is the plan to take out this vampire, to destroy it, or convince it? I mean, I'm pretty sure I know what Ellie's plan is.
Ellie's all for destroying.
Yeah, because of personal beef at this point.
Yeah.
But here's my question, because again, it sounds to me like Constable Lansing does not want to be left on the sidelines. He wants to be helping. So what is the plan? Are we involving Lansing in on this? Because he obviously wants to see it for himself.
I kind of feel like that needs to be discussed in character.
Yes, and that's fine. That's perfectly fine. I mean, we can totally do this.
Because I know what I as a player would like to see happen, but that's just me, and I want to see how the characters hash this out.
Yeah, because we can bring that in as part of the night phase, for sure. As a prelude to the night phase, in fact.
So the vampire nest is located below the British Museum, in a church below the British Museum.
And chapel below, yeah.
Because we can call it an abandoned chapel, It's like,
Yes.
excuse me.
Abandoned and desecrated.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Perfect place for a vampire.
Okay. It has access to sewers for safe passage throughout London, though the
Yes.
museum itself
Mhm.
is dangerous spots of sunlight. The older relics provide comfort, but the vampire derides the researchers' false assumptions.
For sure. Absolutely. So that gives you guys a +2 if
Mhm.
for the clues and everything. So who is rolling? I accept 1 die per 2 players, or 1 player doing 2 dice.
I can roll one of them.
I think Ellie has a lot on the line, so she should
I'll roll
the
the other one.
Okay.
Let's see how that goes. Here's mine. Oh, I'm the wrong person. Sorry.
I was wondering who that
Drum
was.
roll, please.
Okay.
Okay, so 8
10.
to 10.
Okay,
10.
10.
All right.
Ooh,
Nice.
wow.
We got it right.
Nice.
Okay, so
Yeah.
10 and then pardon. So you're right. And so for the most part narratively, like, things are going to go great. Just, this will be pretty much straightforward. I don't anticipate too much trouble in here, but it's going to be exciting, So may have you do some night moves, of course, because we'll see what the drama is. The drama may not have anything to do with the vampire itself. We don't know yet. So let's find out. Okay. So let's see. Let's just make sure we finished everything. I'm going to assume, Mordecai, that you're not going to do your mask until either the very, very end or the next
I can do my mask now.
Oh, okay, great.
I've been thinking about my masks a lot.
Which mask is it?
It's narrate a flashback to your young adulthood that shows you. No, it's narrate a flashback to your childhood that shows the first time you encountered a dark entity.
Okay, good.
And I think what we see here is we see a very Mordecai when he is maybe 8. His skin color is natural, like pale, but not like that paper white yet. He's standing in a room. It's a large room. It's kind of a hall, very sparse, but there are weapons on one side of the room, like a whole cabinet of weapons, halberds, swords, crossbows, what have you. There's a target set up, some space from him, and he's holding a dagger in his hand. Next to him is the man that we've seen before, the coven person, and he's like, no, you have to hit it at least 3 times in a row. I told you. And the child's like, I'm hungry. I really want to eat now. And the man is, yes, you can eat once you've hit the target 3 times in a row. And the child is like, no, I want to eat now. This is stupid. I hate daggers, and throws the dagger, and suddenly these entities coalesce around this dagger and twist the dagger and shoot it right back at the older man, who catches it, who parries it barely, cuts his arm while doing it. And then the child's looking like, and I think that's the moment when the entities converge upon the boy, and they kind of gather the child up in their glow, and the child's eyes go really wide and start glowing as well. And the older man is like looking at their arm, looking at the dagger, looking at the child, like, interesting.
Amazing. Oh, God. Although he probably doesn't enter into it at all. So it's great. All right, awesome. Okay. So, upcoming night phase. Is everybody going to be involved? Basically, in the Lurker. Okay. No, I'm just asking. I mean, that's what I'm supposed to ask. And I'm assuming that, once everybody comes home and we agree upon this and da-da-da, they're going to see Lansing there, and I want to see a scene on this. There's a high possibility that we may be cutting night phase in half, depending on how fast that we get through this. I want to leave time for stars and wishes, so I'm perfectly happy in making night phase break up, because I want to make sure that this has a chance to breathe. I don't like breakneck night phases and then not having time for everything else. So, given that, yeah, we'll do this as it goes.
Is Mordecai coming along on this one? Because I know his distaste for vampires.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course he's coming along with that. I mean, there's a chance to see someone become cannon fodder to the vampire, isn't there? So.
Oh man. Okay. This has to be a scene before night phase even starts, because that's got to be delicious.
Yes.
Okay.
Also, I mean, I'm not talking about Felix. Probably.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I mean, me personally, me as keeper, but like I said, this is why I'm saying there's got to be a scene, before the actual night phase starts, because yes. Oh boy. Okay. Let me pick out a doodad for this. Yeah, let's do, for funsies, let's do the tarot card reading of Ms. Lydia Wainwright. One of my faves. Whoops. So, okay, come on. All right. Lydia Wainwright is a young woman of 19, born into a respectable family. Her mother has commanded her to marry Edgar Thornton, the son of a wealthy industrialist, but her heart belongs to Samuel, a poor but very handsome chimney sweep. Lydia has snuck off in the night to the home of a fortune-teller, seeking guidance on the matter. Paint the scene, of course, goes to everyone, because I can't type. Okay. And then 2 goes to Sabine. 3 goes to Kathleen. 4 goes to Mike. Let's do this. What's happening once people get home and start discussing, what the plan is? Because you two arrive back from your respective hunts. Mordecai with Nora, Felix fresh from Rutland, wearing Mordecai's gear. Thank you very much.
And Ellie has swiped a shirt from Felix's room.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, Constable Lansing is in his uniform, so I mean, he doesn't want it. Right?
No, I've swiped it and I've hung it on the back of a chair for him to take along. It's
but let's just for dramatic purposes, let's just say that as people are filing into the kitchen, like Ellie, you're showing Constable Lansing, here's the shirt I'm giving you.
Yes.
All right, and go.
I don't know how well it's going to fit. It might be kind of tight across the shoulders, but it's a good shirt.
If it's too tight, you can undo the top button, says Felix as he's walking in, removing the cravat, just unbuttoning his top button.
Felix.
You mean Mordecai's top button?
Yes. What are you wearing?
I believe it's mid-Victorian Vogue.
And Mordecai, you can be walking in at this moment and recognizing your stuff.
I believe that is my jacket, actually.
And the shirt, and the pants, and the shoes.
You wear it very well,
Thank
I have to say. And then looks over and sees license. What's that doing here?
I beg your pardon?
Guest wants to help.
Oh, this is him.
I'm sorry.
Trying super hard not to blush.
I am
possibly not entirely
Constable Lansing, and he's looking directly at you, Felix.
As well he should.
And he's looking at you with a businesslike air. I mean, to you to him, he's, you're another person.
Yes.
Yes. And then
Constable Lansing.
Yes, Constable Lansing. And then he looks over at Mordecai and says, Mr. Laurence. Good seeing you again.
I really doubt it.
And he just raises an eyebrow.
I'm looking at Ellie like, what the hell?
Lansing, why don't we get you into something more comfortable, more appropriate for tonight's festivities? I will take the shirt from Ellie, toss it over my shoulder like it's so much detritus, even though it's a well-made silk shirt. Follow me. And I will give Mordecai and Ellie a little bit of space to discuss.
Shouldn't I be wearing my uniform to
This can't be official. Go with Felix.
all right.
And once it's gone, I will repeat my question. What's that doing here, Ellie? That was not what we talked about.
That was not your intent, and I did not at the time intend to bring him here. But he is determined to help. He is inserting himself into this matter, and he's going to get himself killed.
Yes,
to no purpose. If we don't inform him, he's certainly going to die. There's danger to him either way, but the danger of ignorance is greater.
There is danger to him. No,
there better not be any danger to him from you.
Well, that remains to be seen, doesn't it?
Ellie's got that sort of restless energy to her that she does some nights. And she is her body language says try me.
Who's
very,
taller?
Very clearly.
Who's taller at this like,
it's a good question.
Yeah.
Ellie is tall and wears boots with heels. She might be taller. She's certainly not significantly shorter. But I don't have
she's not significantly shorter, but I don't think Mordecai is a short person, actually.
Okay.
He doesn't feel
we're pretty well eyed on.
Yeah. That
I can picture you two being eye to eye for sure.
Yes. Yeah. So Dune says, Ellie, this man is not my friend. This man has humiliated me. I do not hold with that.
He's humiliated you.
Well, how do you think that whole thing here started?
I thought you were simply bored and looking for a target.
Yes, I was, but there is method to my choosing targets. I do not appreciate being questioned about the reason for my whereabouts in some place.
So because he asked you a very natural question, he humiliated you and therefore must be brought down.
Wow.
A question that is part of his job. And I think we can agree that while there are things that the police can't cope with, they should exist for the matters they can, right?
That would be a longer discussion, but yes, maybe. You are not wrong on that. However, you knew that I did not care for him, that I did not like him, that I made him my target. You asked me to stand aside. And I said I would consider it. It was not an invitation into the house we all both share. You're in here, into my space.
I didn't bring him into your room. And I wouldn't bring him into your room. But this house is shared space.
Exactly.
And as such,
it is shared.
I don't claim authority over what guests you bring into the house. I have not brought him into any private spaces. Felix is apparently at the moment, but that's Felix's choice.
That is Felix, and I tolerate Felix.
Sorry, I was laughing at the chat. So at the moment, I don't really care whether you're happy about it.
I can see that is. Wow. Okay.
We have a priority tonight. The priority is stopping the vampire.
Mm-hmm.
And he's either going to be cluelessly underfoot. He's not a stupid man. Fine to follow us if I didn't bring him in. He might be helpful.
We'll see.
And
about
he's
that.
here, he's involved.
Yes.
That's
Very well.
how it is.
I see how that is. I see. Very well. Proceed.
Good. Good.
And as we fade away from that scene, it's like I think as we take the camera over to Constable Lansing and Felix, I think Constable Lansing will actually take a closer look to Felix and go, "You don't seem like the type to be dealing with threats like these, if you don't mind my saying."
And what would I look like if I were to be that sort? Still walking up to the room, and
I suppose I would expect more weaponry or more, I don't know.
we open the door to the bedroom. We see finery, broken fine china, torn silks just cast aside, spears of ancient make, daggers being laid aside, an arrow in a place of prominence.
I see. I stand corrected.
Just for some mundane trinkets? Is that what really gives you the authority to go and fight crime and defend London?
I apologize. I am no judge of what it takes to do your jobs for such things. I obviously had no suspicion that Miss Fletcher was even involved in this business.
No. You meet many Americans in your line of work, taking off Mordecai's stuff and just kind of tossing it to the side.
No, I hadn't, but you hear rumors. I mean, and, well, one of the most prominent places of hearing about Americans, of course, was one associated with Hargrave House. So,
Well, you know what they say. The only thing worse than being talked about is not being talked about.
is that such a problem?
What's the point of doing good if people don't recognize you for it? Isn't that why you do it, Constable Lansing?
No, I do it because I want to serve the people that are of my neighborhood, of my background, well, I know them. They know me.
You think so? And Felix will pull out a nice, well-made coat, something that would suit maybe an officer of the police, but maybe without any of the distinguishing markings.
Oh.
Someone in a position of authority.
Oh, that's more for the detective inspector. I couldn't.
No. Felix will slide it onto him. Try it on. See how authority sits on you.
It fits.
Strange how that works, doesn't it? Authority is a mantle that, once you assume it, adapts to you, Constable.
can't be that easy.
Felix will sit down, still shirtless, still hasn't picked out what his wardrobe is going to be. What makes you beautiful, Lansing?
That is an odd question.
What gets you up in the morning? What makes you face London and all its ilk, all its dirt, all its grime? You can tell yourself that it's because you feel like you want to help the people of London, but is that really it?
I don't want to serve all of London. I want to serve the people of Limehouse. I came from there, and I want to give back.
And if your superiors told you not to? That there's no point in investing in Limehouse because people of finery aren't there. If you were told to stay away from the rookery despite a miasma killing its people.
And you see his face fall, like as if you just told him that he was told never to do what he was made for ever again. And he has no answer for you. I don't know. I don't know.
You do know what you would do, Lansing. The answer is not right on your shoulders.
They wouldn't give this to me if you don't assume control like that. You work to it. You earn it.
Such a strange stance from someone of Londinium. What is that quote? There are some who are born great, and Felix will stand up and strike a pose. There are some who achieve greatness, and then there are some who have greatness, and he'll kind of tap Lansing on his shoulders and look at him with the detective inspector jacket, who have greatness thrust upon them.
Or those that need to work outside of it.
And so you have options before you, Lansing. And Felix will kind of skulk to the other side and actually start getting dressed with properly fitting like leather vest and something that's just nice enough to blend in, but still pretty enough for people to know that he has something nice.
I didn't catch your name.
Nor did I give it.
And he just gives you this look like, all right.
Why don't you start? After all, I don't want to associate you with Constable Short, a little man with a short temper who can't possibly take a joke.
He tries not to laugh.
You know, there it is. You know exactly the man I'm talking about. Ilk that you're not meant to associate with.
That's rude.
Is it wrong?
It's not wrong, it's just rude.
Well, suffice to say that if I say it to him, I'll say it to his face then. How about that?
You are strange, regardless of your name.
But probably the right temperament for somebody to deal with this business.
Who are you?
I have had many names. I've been called a god, thief, king. But tonight, I am Felix. And you?
He just kind of gets this, like, this, what's the word? Snarky is not the word that I'm looking for, and I can't think of it right now, but he just kind of gets this lopsided smile on his face. And he says,
Smirk,
thank you. And he just says, you can continue to call me Lansing.
Fair enough, Lansing. Now, let's go and see which side of this you'll take. Whether you'll continue to operate within the bounds of London's proper policing, or if you decide to join us in the shadows.
Miss Fletcher said that this was not to be official.
Oh, I wasn't aware that you were taking orders from a civilian. And then Felix will lead on. And I'll leave him in that room wearing his very nice, well-fitted detective inspector jacket. The implication that he can keep it if he wants.
Just for funsies, he's going to go through like your vast wardrobe thing, and he's gonna try to see if he can find some some trousers and stuff. So this way, it's like he's not wearing any of his official uniform, just to prove a point.
He'll find something that is perfectly tailored just for him.
Yeah. And probably looks spiff and good, just so you know. But anyway. Yeah. And so he comes down, and then it matches very well and such. But yeah, so
I have a feeling Ellie and Mordecai are kind of sitting on this opposite corners of the table, ostentatiously not looking at each other.
is this still in the kitchen?
Yeah, I think Mordecai is not even
Possibly.
sitting there. He's probably going and getting himself tea or something. Like he's doing a thing. It's not moping or anything.
Nora, have the adults finished having a discussion?
Yeah, she's waiting outside. She's not getting into the kitchen whatsoever.
Yeah,
she's just like
Felix
listening.
Felix is waiting.
I think so. I don't hear anything, but I also didn't hear any
Gunshots?
no gunshots, no bumping, bruising, or strange sounds.
Wonderful. Bring the carriage around so we can go and deal with the vampire for the evening.
Okay. Certainly.
Felix will walk in. Well, we don't need to hire anyone if people are just going to take orders like that. Simply amazing what you can do once you have a student.
I don't think she should come. Nora will not accompany us to this.
Do you tell her that you sent her to go get a carriage?
I didn't make a hiding or whispering of it. I just told Nora what to do, and she's doing it.
I mean, she can get the carriage, but I don't think.
Yeah.
I don't think Mordecai wants her to come with, because this is actually dangerous, and she's not quite equipped yet before to get into a situation like this.
Right.
Yes, evil tree, one thing. Blood vampire, completely separate thing.
Sure.
Indeed.
Right. And actually, this is where Lansing will come in, and you see him in his new outfit, and then he's got the kosh with him, and he says, and strangely enough, I found these, and he kind of slaps at the trousers that he's wearing, and it's like there's actually seems to be some kind of pocket for my kosh. Convenient.
And quiet. And then Felix will go over to pour himself some tea and whisper, "You're welcome, Ellie. Thank me anytime."
Not saying anything to Felix right now, because I cannot cope with this right now. So, we should plan.
What is the plan?
Well, we know that it's beneath the British Museum, of all places. And, we're going to destroy it. We know it fears sunlight, which doesn't help right now, but fire may be our best weapon.
I can trap it in a room. And those are better equipped to this can wheel on it until it stops breathing. Or we can set the room on fire. That might be easier.
I mean, depends on what's in the room. We haven't seen it yet. If it's dank stone, it's hardly going to burn.
Yes, that is a complication. We should maybe take some incendiaries with us. Although we probably don't want to burn down the British Museum. I quite like the place.
No, we want controlled fire.
Mm-hmm.
Insofar as it can be controlled. Torches rather than fire bombs, I think.
I mean, if you have containers for kerosene, then we could make a concerted circle, and then light it. Could keep it contained.
Yeah. That makes sense. Makes sense.
Surely you must have something here.
Oh, we can find kerosene, lamp oil, flammables easily enough.
Chemistry set, perhaps.
Yes, I have flammable things. Thank you very much, Felix.
So, Mordecai, maybe you should be prepared to deal with if it goes less solid, I guess, since we know it can.
As I said, I've been troubled at the moment. It does not matter if it goes less solid or not.
Okay.
Yeah, Lansing will unconsciously, rub the bandages underneath his shirt. Yeah.
And I can't keep calling you Constable, especially not when you're dressed like that.
I have your companion calling me Lansing, Miss Fletcher.
And Miss Fletcher sounds way too formal. We're comrades in arms now. You can call me Ellie.
He kind of looks down at his feet and will come a little bit closer and will say, "You, and only you, can call me Edmund."
I smile and nod. Not gonna repeat it since sorry, chat.
And he says it he says it softly enough that he doesn't want the other two to hear. So
yep, that's why I'm not repeating it right now.
Yeah. And then he'll move back into place. Yeah. Given that, and then we're coming close to the end. It's like we're gonna close there, and then we'll get started in earnest on night phase next time. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll do, and you did your mask, Mordecai, so we don't have to worry about that. So we're going to get into stars and wishes as soon as I mark off, hold on, that we have, we're going to be doing night phase starting next, right away, next session. Okay, cool. All right. And thank you for being patient and wanting to do those scenes, because I really think, I'm sorry, but if we need those scenes, we need those scenes. I'm sorry. It's there's nowhere else to fit them. Because
absolutely,
night phase is supposed to be breakneck, and it's no, you can't really do it. You could, but it slows the pace down, and it's it doesn't feel right to do them in night phase. So it just feels good to do them.
It would have been weird not to do them.
Yeah, exactly.
Honestly.
Yeah. So that's why I appreciate you guys being willing to do them outside. So that's awesome. Okay, cool. So given that, stars and wishes, you know how this works. Hopefully I remember how this works. Yeah. So stars are things that you enjoyed about the gameplay, roleplay, each other, and then wishes are what you'd like to see for the future and or next time. Yep.
I can start. Stars to Felix for the Mordecai impression. I really love that. That was really fun. And also stars to Ellie for the whole Lansing thing and just dragging him into the whole mess that is Hargrave house. That, yes, knowing what would happen if she did, that was kind of fun. So yeah, okay, that's, and also of course, as always, stars to you, Mads, for running this session and letting the Dawn face breathe a little, which was super necessary. So yeah. And wishes. What do I wish for? I don't know. I'm perfectly happy to let this play out in the night phase. I'm wishing for a bit of a fight, actually. That might be nice.
Oh, wow. This was a fun one. Uh, the scenes with Edmund. Uh, Great fun. Um, he just wants to do the right thing, and golly, that's Ellie is so used to people doing the right thing for wrong reasons, or for selfish reasons, or for I don't even know why Felix does what he does. Uh, and uh, and certainly Ellie's not assuming there's anything particularly noble in Felix's uh participation in Hargrave House shenanigans. Um, she could be wrong. I don't know. But to meet somebody who's just a good guy, well, dang. And she's definitely getting more swept up than she expected to, or probably arguably should. Um, and I really enjoyed that conversation with Mordecai. Just no, no. I'm not going to let you mess with him. I'm not going to humor your petty little grudge. Uh, no, I'm not moving. You can move, or you can deal with the situation as it is, but this is where I'm standing. Felix says Mordecai was hilarious. And also, Felix just whisking Lansing off to redress him. It's like, there's going to be a conversation here. I don't really want to be in the room for it. He shouldn't be in the room for it. Let's just clear the stage. It's going to be interesting to see how this goes going forward.
Echoing the heart to hearts that Ellie is having as being a star. It's really good to see the slow amping up of these stakes. Also, we finally got his name. That's really good. I like the characterization of Mordecai dealing with the miasma threat, going from you're working on these masks for the peasantry. Let me look at these. Oh, you care about helping people? Do you want to help us give out masks? No, I really don't care. I just want to solve problems, and if you did it poorly, that would just annoy me. And then the sheer audacity of telling a deranged back alley doctor that his work is pedestrian was just a very strong character choice, and I liked that a lot, so thank you for that. um on the same token, Mads, I said it off camera, but I'll say it here, I really liked the energy you brought with Dr. Charles, of this manic raspy science gremlin that thinks he knows what he's doing but doesn't. I look forward to engaging more with the miasma threat after we take care of this vampire thing. um I was also really happy to have that scene with Lansing. Like, I know Kathleen was right that I was just kind of ushering him out so that they could have the spotlight, but just having that opportunity to flesh out like what Lansing's motivation was, and to have that again. I like the moments where I can be Felix and be not necessarily just like whimsical, but just the what's important to you, what is like your most closely held ideal, and what are you willing to sacrifice for it. And I look forward to seeing how Lansing plays out. One wish would be, we know he's going to be effective. I want to see what decision he makes, whether he's willing to continue with this cover up and actively go against like his orders, or if he becomes like an unofficial member of Hargrave House, or he rats us out. Like, he might say like he cares a lot about Ellie, but his duty is to the city. and to make sure that things are followed in procedure. Like, I think that's an interesting narrative choice.
Or he's conflicted because, things are going to come down hard and maybe, just maybe, somebody's going to rat him out. We don't know. We don't know what's going to happen.
And
we
I
don't know.
I like the idea of Felix being able to slowly tempt him with the same thing he does with everyone else. What if what you had, but better? Yeah. What if you could continue to do good, but with more power?
Oh, man.
What are you willing to do for that?
Oh, man. It's like, it's just like, I just like watching you work as the undeniable. And it's just, oh, God, it's so gross. But I mean, yet I also enjoy doing it as well. So it's me as the keeper going, yeah, that's the shit. And then and me as the actual NPC going, what's going on? What do I do?
and we did that with the estate lady too. Like that was a pretty short scene, but she's like, I'm in control, I'm in power. It's like, but are you really though? Go get your husband, queen. Like, go leave. You owe yourself more.
Yeah, she's considering it's like selling off the jewels. So we'll see how this goes. I don't know, but yeah, can't wait to see. There's so many good scenes, like with all of you. Just Mordecai dealing with crazy Dr. Charles. I mean, I'm sorry, he's like fucking deranged. And like your handling of him, and like your choice to bar him from his from his lab. Oh my God, that was amazing. So the permutations from that's going to be interesting to consider while you deal with this. So things are happening while you're doing the night thing. So we'll see what happens for the next day, right? And then Ellie, oh my gosh. Yeah. I knew I was thinking about it over the week, so I knew that the permutation from the consequence for the 6 was going to be, if I wasn't going to give you a condition, it was definitely going to be, or I was going to give you a condition and then something else was going to happen, and I knew it was going to be Lansing was going to come upon you and be like, what the hell are you doing back here? Mm-hmm. So yeah, I was floored when you got the 10 and was able to convince him to leave. I was just like, oh, come on, let's make it really complicated. Let's really, fuck, 10, shit. All right, fine, yeah. The dice will out. All right, fine.
And then I went and complicated my life by bringing him to Hargrave house. So
that's on you. I mean, you didn't have to. You really, honestly didn't have to.
I know, but I thought it would be interesting.
No, it's great. I loved it because then it led to the conversation with Mordecai, which we loved even more. So, hey, this is the juicy shit we like to see. Messy relationships. Yay! Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
And then Felix, yeah. I mean, like Felix being Felix, I love to watch you work. Love to see it. I mean, like I thought it was brilliant with just Mrs. Blanchard, but like trying to work on Lansing. And Ellie's downstairs. Okay. Oh God.
You're lucky I didn't make him a follower with Giveth and just be like, so you're dragging her along. Like, you're doing a real good job about this. Which, by the way, I can do that at any time. I'm just saying.
I know. Yeah. I know. Oh, yeah. I know. Oh God.
Okay, so that would put Ellie at loggerheads with 2 of her colleagues.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, once Felix gets his claws into Lansing, Mordecai's like, okay, you did my job for me, Ellie, thank you. I'll find somebody else now.
Hey, look now.
He's done. He's toast.
Yeah, you're right.
Right. At that point, Mordecai is just sitting in the corner eating popcorn.
Yeah, really. Or even if it's not even like Felix, I mean, like, it would be like, like Jai. Jai's got that move too. So, you're up against it, Ellie. I mean, honestly, I mean, like, oh God. So you think it was me that go and tear your heart out? One of your colleagues could just as easily do it. And
he's fine. He has no authority or resources. He would need more.
need more.
Mm.
But once he got more,
Who knows? I make no promises.
yeah, exactly. Oh God. So complications upon complications, and this is not even me doing anything with threats. I mean, you guys are doing it all to yourselves. Oh, you guys are making this game so pleasurable. I love you all. Damn. Okay. So anyway, yeah, that's all the wishes, because I mean, like, yeah, you guys are just making this so much fun to play, because yeah, all your complications and all your messy relationships just make my life so joyous. Anyway, given that, we'll start night phase in earnest next time. Like, let me know if you're not gonna be here so we can, like, adjust the session accordingly. Blah blah blah. But hopefully everybody will be, and including Jai. And yeah, we'll run from there. And yeah, you guys have a wonderful week. Happy gaming to you all. God. Oh my gosh, so happy with this. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Thank you so much. See you
Thanks
guys
for
next time.
running.
See ya.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.